2, test.
Yeah, don't pay attention to that.
Test 1, 2, test.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. I'd like to call this October 11th, 2021 Sylvania Board of Education meeting to order. Ms. Shanks, can you call the roll?
Julie Hoffman.
Here.
Ruslan Slitsky.
Here.
Greg Feller.
Here.
Kimberly Conklin.
Here.
Tammy Lavalette.
Here.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And with that, we are with you, Dr. Motley.
Thank you, Ms. Hoffman. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to begin by thanking all of those who are here to join us for our board meeting this evening. I do want to reiterate that it is board policy that on our school property while indoors, we do have a policy in place that we require masks to be worn in our buildings while inside. For those of you who have elected to do so, we appreciate you abiding by our school policy. If you have elected not to do so, what we have done is gone a step further, and what we have done is put our tables at social distancing space, like 6 feet or more, in order to accommodate and be aware of COVID and the possible implications of contracting COVID and quarantining. So again, thank you to those who are following our board policy, but we again, if not, we have made accommodations here for those who may join us now or later in the meeting that our tables are 6 foot in distance. With that being said, with my superintendent's report, I think it's very important that I share a few things that have been going on around the community and in our district. I continue to visit a number of school events, high school, elementary, and community events. Last week I had the pleasure of throwing out the first pitch at the Northview staff softball game. And Ms. Lavalette was there. She actually was a witness. I got the ball across the plate this time. It didn't go right, it didn't go left, it went straight. So it was a pleasure and an absolute joy to hang out with the Northview staff. Boy, they were cheering each other on. The pep band self-organized and actually were there to cheer on the staff. It didn't matter if they were on the black team or the gold team. Everyone was celebrated, but it was a lot of fun and a lot of camaraderie. Also, I attended 2 of the 3 elementary cross-country series. I have to tell you, I know I spoke about this before, but that is just the most delightful event. Those little people just running as fast as they can, kindergartners, first graders, second graders, all the way up to 5th grade, chasing a guy on a bike, just pouring out their hearts and sprinting along. And really, what a great way to get kids interested in a lifelong activity. This is a wellness activity, as well as looking at some future recruits, I'm sure, for our junior high and high school cross-country teams. Last Thursday, I had the pleasure of attending the Southview Fall Play, which is the Fall of the House of Usher. Boy, was it a great play, very dramatic, very powerful, very moving. But our kids, as always, we have such talented students, both at Northview and Southview, but Southview did a fantastic job with their performance. And then I also attended a Rotary Luncheon last week where I had listened to our speaker, who is from the local area. He lives in Sylvania, and his name is Mr. Bell. His first name escapes me right now. I think it's Matt Bell, and he owns the Recovery Center. A wonderful story of his own journey to recovery. Had a previous drug addict, had been in recovery 28 times before he found his sober path, and how he really spoke to the Rotarians about the path of recovery and what that can look like, and there's hope. And he also not only speaks to adults in places like nonprofits like the Rotary, he will also come to our schools if need be to talk to students about addiction and the road to recovery. Next weekend, I'm getting my wave ready. We have the Fall Festival that kicks off actually this coming Friday. We have a gala downtown I will be attending. Also on Sunday, I am serving as the Grand Marshal for the Fall Festival Parade, so I've been practicing my wave. I'm not sure if I'm doing the Queen's wave or the Gomer Pyle wave or whatever wave, but I will be waving. I'm excited about that as well, to be in the community and see our families just out in hopefully good weather from what I hear. Today, we had a professional learning day, a collaboration day within our district where we had employees, both certified and classified, participate. We had over 35 learning sessions in our district for our students, for our staff and our OPSI staff to learn. Anything from an emphasis on special education needs, gifted education with GATE and differentiation strategies, in addition to career tech, and we also had a flu shot clinic for our employees. So we were trying to keep them healthy at the same time as we were feeding their professional growth areas. And also on that same note of keeping folks healthy, last week in collaboration with Washington Local Schools and Springfield Schools, Sylvania School employees had the opportunity to get their booster shot if they had a Pfizer shot previously earlier in the school year, well actually last school year. And as a result, we had about, through the 3 districts, 306 individuals receive their Pfizer booster shot last Friday. So that's my superintendent's report, Ms. Hoffman.
Thank you very much. At this time, it's time for public participation for items which are on the agenda. There are none, so we're back with you, Dr. Motley.
Thank you. I recommend item 4.1, the acceptance of gifts. More specifically, this is a donation of a PED tilt and space wheelchair chair from the Craig family to the Transportation Department. This chair will help transfer students and transport students from building to the bus and back and forth with this special needs chair. So thank you to the Craig family for being so generous with their donation.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you very much to the Craig family. Ms. Shanks?
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend for approval item 4.2 for our Southview cheerleaders to attend the All-Americans camp and Varsity Spirits and the Varsity Spirit Spectacular at Walt Disney World in Orlando. That'll take place November 19th through November 22nd. We're so excited because 11 of our Southview varsity cheerleaders were selected to participate in this camp and also represent our district. So this is a great opportunity for our young ladies.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Thank you. Next item, 4.3, I recommend approval. It is a memorandum of understanding for transportation support. Not unknown to many, many folks, we have a shortage of transportation employees. This MOU allows us to seek transportation support after the workday in order that we can maximize the transportation department.
I'll move approval. I'll second.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend item 4.4, Sonar Hardware. It is an upgrade agreement in order that we can improve the current software that we have in place and increase efficiency for our transportation department.
I'll move approval. I'll second.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend approval for item 4.5, Transfinder software upgrade. This specifically is an upgrade to our current software system for Route Finder Pro to Route Finder Plus.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
There were two transportation software upgrades. Are
Correct.
they just different areas or?
Correct. For example, I believe the Sonar is part of the parent app that we have added to ensure that our parents can start to follow the buses where their child is. The other software program also works together with that as a package where we used to have the minimum package. Because of the needs and the size of our district, it's just time to expand what our capabilities are.
Got it.
Anybody else? Ms. Shanks?
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Thank you. I recommend item 4.6 for approval. It is a memorandum of understanding with Lord's University for field experience placement for students. Typically, this is an annual item in partnership with Lord's University.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Thank you. Item 4.7 is an organizational chart that I recommend approval. This is an administrative organizational chart for the Sylvania schools.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
was that Tammy that seconded?
Yes. Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Thank you. Next category is human resources license. This will be on a consent agenda basis. Item 5.1 is a correction for a supplemental position for an auditorium manager. Item 5.2 is seeking approval for volunteers for our dance club, which is exciting for our students. Item 5.3, there are a host of extra duty experiences and projects that our teachers, our educators are performing, anywhere from homebound instructors to also covering for additional caseloads for servicing students, case management, and also step up to quality. We also have 5.4, we're excited, we have 3 new substitute teachers who have joined our district. Item 5.5, I recommend approval as we have a couple of unpaid leave absences that took place in September. Item 5.6, I recommend approval for athletic volunteers for the 21-22 school year. Also, item 5.7, we have a number of supplemental positions that we recommend approval for, which includes a lot of coaching, and we appreciate our athletic personnel. Item 5.8, I recommend the approval of a variety of parent volunteers to support the 5th grade camp this year. And item 5.9, I recommend approval to add an additional homebound instructor. Item 5.10 seeks to approve all the items from 5.1 through 5.9.
I move approval of items 5.1 to 5.9 on a consent agenda basis.
I'll second.
Any comments or questions?
What's the homebound tutor?
Would you like to talk?
Yeah, those are services for specifically special ed students who can't attend school for numerous reasons. We hire those homebound instructors to provide that instruction for those kids at home.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
Anybody else? Ms. Shanks?
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Thank you. On a consent agenda basis, I recommend approval for the following items. Item 6.1, which looks at classified extra hours. This is for para support, collaboration, also paraprofessional meetings at Timberstone Junior High School. Item 6.2, I ask and recommend approval for classified resignations. Item 6.3, you'll see we have a retirement of Susan Muller, who is a payroll clerk in the Treasurer's Department. She will be leaving our district after 11 years of employment with Sylvania Schools. We wish her the best and thank her for her time within our district. Also, 6.4, we have a couple of new hires listed there as a new district substitute, as well as a payroll clerk, secretary, bookkeeper. Item 6.5, we have a number of other classified personnel actions where a number of our employees are shifting from one position to another position within our district. Again, item 6.6, I recommend approval of all aforementioned items.
I'll move for approval items 6.1 to 6.5 on a consent agenda basis.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Shanks?
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Thank you. Item 7.1 is a board item. We have received Lisa Shank's resignation after 6 years now, right? 6 years with us?
almost, yes.
Yeah. So her last day will be March 4th. We are sorry to see you go. We are very appreciative of the great state you've left our finances in. You've done a tremendous job. So on behalf of the board, I thank you. And with that, I move to accept item 7.1.
Second.
Any comments?
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lisa.
thank you,
You're
Lisa.
welcome.
Ms. Shanks?
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Ruslan Slutsky,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
Kimberly Conklin.
Yes.
And we are to board committee reports and announcements. Tammy, anything?
No.
Kim?
No.
Greg? Ruslan?
No.
I also have nothing, so that was quick. This is a second opportunity for public participation for items not on the agenda. And seeing none, I move we go into executive session for the purpose of several things, right?
Yes. Employment of, I just mentioned it to her before.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so employment and then items meant to be kept confidential.
Confidential, yes.
And we will not be taking action following executive session.
Second.
Did you move?
Yeah, I
I'll
move.
second. Okay, second.
Ms. Shanks?
Julie Hoffman,
Yes.
Greg Feller,
Yes.
Ruslan Salewski,
Yes.
Tammy Lavalette,
Yes.
and Kimberly Conklin.